Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Walker Venrick with Sharp Sports Network, bringing you my top 3 plays for this 3-game NBA slate here on March 9th. We have a pretty awesome little 3-gamer. We don't normally love these 3-game slates just because it's hard to get some leverage over the field, but we're going to jump right into this one and talk about my top 3 plays and pretty much just why you should play them as always. But before I do, if you guys have not already, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you do go check out sharpsportsnetwork.com. This is our website, and these are some of our shirts and our designs. If you have not, definitely go over here and check them out. We're stoked to have these shirts, and if you have any favorite players, anything like that, we're open to any suggestions in the comments about new shirts that we should drop in the future. We're definitely going to be targeting some of obviously the more popular athletes first, but we are definitely planning on dropping more shirts as soon as possible as time goes on. So make sure you come over here and check that out. And then we are also stoked for the MLB season. We have the month pass and season pass up. We will be just crushing the MLB season. We're really excited for baseball. Joe and I will probably be splitting the content for MLB just because we both love MLB and we've both done so well in years past. So definitely go over here and check that out. But let's go ahead and jump right into this one. If you have not already, please do leave a like on this video. We greatly appreciate your support as always. And if you do have any questions, maybe comments, or even concerns for us, please leave them in the comment section below, guys. We're really happy to give you guys advice when we can. Starting off this video here on DraftKings, the first player I want to talk to you guys about is Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is averaging over 1.4 fantasy points per minute with Giannis off the floor this season, and even in a slow matchup like this, I am not even going to consider fading him in cash games, and I'll probably play him in almost all of my GPP lineups as well, just because of this horrible price tag, just 5.7K, way too cheap for him, pretty much way too cheap for him anytime, let alone when Giannis is out. The Nuggets are actually bottom 5 in the league in terms of allowed assists and successful field goals made to opposing point guards in the NBA. So it's not something you'd expect from the Nuggets, who are generally they have a pretty tough defensive backcourt there. But regardless, the field goal percentage doesn't lie, and they're allowing a pretty successful one to opposing point guards. So look for Eric Bledsoe to get hot today and shoot pretty effectively from the field, as he did just yesterday against Phoenix. We gotta watch him take advantage of this increased usage rate he gets with Giannis off the floor. And him and Chris Middleton were not on the court together for all of their minutes yesterday, which is even better. When they see minutes without each other, they are just running that offense. So it is very good from a fantasy standpoint to see guys like Eric Bledsoe playing without Middleton and Giannis, and Middleton without Bledsoe and Giannis. The Nuggets are only 5.5 point favorites today, so I expect this game to stay pretty competitive, and I am locking in Eric Bledsoe. Jumping over to my second play on FanDuel, we have Eric Bledsoe. No, I'm just kidding. We have Devonte Graham. Devonte Graham is a very interesting play today. It is a 3-game slate. The ownership is generally much more condensed on these 3-game slates. That's what I meant when I said it's harder to get some leverage, because a lot of people are going to be on the same guys. There's not a ton of variance. Devonte Graham, however, has a 26% usage rate on the year and sees a great pace-up spot today against the 6th fastest Hawks. It's a really interesting spot. It's probably the best spot on the slate in terms of pace and just an all-around matchup. Devonte Graham has a really interesting one today. We're pretty much all aware at this point that the Hawks' backcourt is borderline defenseless. Guys like Kevin Huerter, guys like Trae Young are not going to pose any sort of a threat to a shooter like Devonte Graham. And even after his slight price boost, I still love him today. This game is surprisingly the lowest total on the slate, which is by a very thin margin, I might add. The current totals are 223, 223.5, and 224. So nothing super valuable to take away from that. But it's a 4-point spread right now. The Hawks are 4-point favorites, and I think this game is obviously going to stay competitive. Vegas thinks it's going to stay competitive. These are two very weak defenses, but Devonte Graham could absolutely pop off here. And I know Graham starts at the 1 for the Charlotte team. He's listed as a shooting guard here on FanDuel. But what we've seen oftentimes, if you watch the Hornets play, Graham will bring the ball up the court, and he'll instantly pass it to Rozier on the wing, and all of a sudden Rozier will bring it back up top and just facilitate the team. So it's very interesting to see that Devonte Graham essentially plays the 2 for half of his minutes, it feels like. And opposing shooting guards against Atlanta, some interesting stats on that. The Hawks allow more points, more made field goals, more free throw attempts, more rebounds, more assists, and more steals and more blocks than any team in the league to opposing shooting guards. So I really like Devonte Graham today for a lot of reasons, but those stats alone just kind of spill it all for me. So I will not be sleeping on Devonte Graham today. He's one of my favorite plays on the slate, and I'll be attacking him in GPPs when I'm looking at more of a, go overweight on the Atlanta game, maybe like a little bit of a game stack, something like that. But I'm also okay with him in cash games. His price tag just really doesn't hurt too bad at all. It's not going to take a lot for him to get here, and his ceiling is just absolutely absurd. So it's not something that I want to overlook today at all. But real quick, let's jump over to Monkey Knife Fight, talk about my play of the day. Over here, we have Eric Bledsoe and Jamal Murray. I like the over on Eric Bledsoe. It's hard not to with Giannis off the court. 35.5 is a pretty close line, but regardless, I do like the over on that quite a bit. And then Jamal Murray, we have in that super big pace-up spot for the Nuggets against the Bucks, who are the fastest team in the league. I'll take the over on 33.5 for Jamal Murray in this matchup all day long. We just saw Ricky Rubio torch this team yesterday, and we are actually about to talk about that right now. Let's jump over to DraftKings. If you have not already, though, guys, on MonkeyKnifeFight.com, when you do sign up, I almost forgot, make sure you use code SharpSportsNetwork. That's not the code. The code is SSN on your first deposit. They will give you a 100% deposit match. You will receive double your deposit. All you have to do is use code SSN. But jumping back over here to DraftKings, let me get Jamal Murray pulled up. He has a 26% usage rate on the year and averages just over 1.1 fantasy points per minute. He should see right around that 35-plus minute mark today in a competitive game here at home against the Bucks. And like I just mentioned, we saw Ricky Rubio absolutely scorch this team yesterday, and he was facilitating his way to a monster triple-double. Look for Jamal Murray to fill up the stat sheet a little bit as usual. I would expect to see more of like a 6-6, maybe 7-7 line over here, but he has much more true scoring upside. I like Jamal Murray quite a bit. He has a bigger ceiling than people give him credit for, and this is a matchup where he could easily get there. So I like Jamal Murray a ton today. If you're going to go overweight on Milwaukee today, just because they're without Giannis, you're going to play, 3 or 4 bucks today against the Nuggets. I don't hate that. I wouldn't do that in cash games, but Jamal Murray is one of my favorite run backs on this Nuggets team. I expect most people that are stacking the Bucks to kind of run it back with Nikola Jokic. So I think that pivoting off of Jokic and playing Jamal Murray as a run back for a game stack in your tournament lineups could be a critical play to help you get some edge on over the field. Just it's a 3-game slate. It's kind of hard to find it, but I think that's a great way to go about it. And I do want to mention to you guys before I go, I am still doing free articles on sharpsportsnetwork.com. All you have to do is come over here to the website, go right here and click articles. Once you're here, you can see the articles that we're talking about, and we're breaking down XFL, NBA, and even hockey for you guys. These are free articles. I'll be breaking down 3 more of my top plays today. Stay on the lookout for that. It should be up by around 2 p.m. Eastern at the latest. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and I'll see you guys in the live stream on Twitch later. I'll be live right around 4:30, 5 o'clock Eastern. I hope to see you guys there. If I do, great, and if I don't, then I will see you tomorrow. But good luck to everyone on this slate tonight.